Pathways to Wholeness podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and I thank you for joining us for this next episode of meditative teaching. Please note that these meditations were recorded in a tropical environment with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds in the background. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Okay, let's just settle in, relax, maybe take a few breaths and just listen to the music before the teaching starts. One way of understanding purpose of our spiritual practice is that we are coming back to trusting in our inner selves, our higher selves, that within us which is universal, which is unified, and which is connected to everything. We have not trusted that self because at some point we felt betrayed, and we came up with the idea that we had to go our way alone and control ourselves and the environment around us to be safe. But that safety comes at a very high cost. And by now we see that has not ever really got us where we wanted. Because once we are on the road that tells us we are not safe, we will always feel not safe, no matter how much we control our environment and ourselves. And so we can see that control has not got us where we want to go. And yet, we find it difficult to let go of. We are afraid of what will happen if we let go of control. It feels dangerous. It feels like a threat. You must understand how that comes to be. To live in a state of connection with our inner selves, our true selves, is a state where much energy is perceived. Our hearts are open and we feel connection. It is a feeling state of being. When we are in control, we are in a dissociated state of being, which means that our attention is focused on our thoughts and our mental processes, not our perceptions and feelings. To remain in control, we must block out the feelings and perceptions of the energetic being. And so, we have come to see those feelings and perceptions as dangerous, something to avoid. But now we know that in fact, the feeling, perceptive state is really the way of truth, the way of living in harmony and love, with joy and peace. And so we know that our path is leading us back to that state of being. It is useful to remind ourselves that this is what we want. This is what we need if we are to feel whole and complete. If we are to have access to the peace and profound knowing of our true selves. We must let go of control. Let go of the ways that we have held ourselves tightly against the feeling state. We must make up our minds to trust that inner self, to surrender to it, to allow it free expression. That means the dissolving of the identity and the ego. Which is our biggest challenge. And so We come to this moment with a desire for peace, desire to feel good, to feel that life is good. And that state of knowing does exist within us. It is available to us. But we must consciously choose to let go and trust. To be willing to let go of the identity and the ego. Be willing to let go of control. Be willing to trust that power within us, which has the power to heal anything. If we can remember what is true, we can call to mind that there is a peace beyond all understanding available to us. And we will be more willing to let go. And so, let us remember what is true. That there is a more universal self within us. Self that is not separate from the infinite, not separate from anything. Self that is one with the one consciousness. That self is always seeking full and free expression of its creative power. And to know that self is to know peace, to know the truth. And to know that self, we must let go of the noise, the ego and the identity. Turn our attention inward. Allow our state to change, to let go, surrender, to soften, to become available, to open. Will you let yourself surrender? Will you make the choice that what you want is to know yourself completely, fully, This is the moment. You can choose. You can say yes. If resistance rises, if it feels as if truth is too far away, remember, it is right here. It is nowhere else but here. There is no separation. There's only the noise of distraction. Which we can choose to end. We do not need to pay attention to this distraction. We can choose to turn our attention inward to the present, to the experience being here right now. Spirit of the infinite is within you. It is energy. It is light. It is intelligence. Let that spirit guide you. Trust in it. Let go to it. Surrender to it. There is nothing else to do. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you'd like more information on these meditations and teachings, visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Surrender. These are guided meditations designed to support you in letting go of whatever tensions or false ideas you might be holding about how things really are, and reaching a state of peace and surrender. That's Pathways to Surrender. Look for the next episode soon. We're uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.